Good morning, friends. Let's talk about unmet needs and bad behaviors. You heard me right. So, most bad behaviors come from an unmet need. So, if you have a narcissistic person in your life, we're not talking about narcissistic personality disorder, that is like pretty severe. But you've got somebody and it's all about them and they are throwing a fit, whether it's a child, because children are very narcissistic. Their ego is all over the place, right? Or you may have a spouse or a friend who is very narcissistic. It's all about them. And so let's look at how you handle it, because a few of you asked me some questions and inboxed me and said, hey, could you do more videos about this? And I said, yes, I can, because I love dealing with things that are a challenge. Hence me becoming a neuropsychotherapist. I love a challenge. So let's go there. Let's say your child is behaving badly. They're just absolutely off the rails. Let's say you're at a restaurant. There's an unmet need and you got to figure out what that is. No discipline, no consequence, nothing until you know the need. So you're like, okay, so you're screaming, you're yelling. Do we need to leave the restaurant for you to be okay? No, mommy, no. Okay, I'm confused by your behaviors. What is it you need from me right now? Well, I want to eat my cake first. Oh, you know what? So do I. I would love to eat my cake first. But if we eat all of our cake, we're not going to eat our dinner. And we have to eat our dinner because that's how our body gets nourished. So why don't we do this? I'll let you take one bite of your dessert after 3 bites of each thing on your plate. And the child learns their needs are going to get met without discipline, consequences, and aggravation because your emotions didn't take over theirs, right? You calm them down. And trust me, if you threaten to leave a restaurant and you actually leave a restaurant, your children will stop acting up at a restaurant. Let's talk about a spouse. So let's say your spouse says something like, I can't believe you'd rather go spend time with your friends than stay here and spend time with me. There's an unmet need there, right? Honey, I hear that it saddens you that I want to spend time with my friends and that you really would rather me stay here and spend time with you, snuggled up together. So when I get back from hanging out with my friends, or maybe tomorrow night, you and I can have a snuggle date and watch movies and eat popcorn together and make it a special romantic evening. So when you think about narcissistic people, they're either overindulged by someone in their life that created entitlement, or they were neglected. And they were like, I really need things to be about me because everything I need is brushed under the table or ignored or minimized, and I need your attention. Y'all, I'm going to tell you, that's a huge need right there. So let's say your spouse is isolating you from other people because they have a need. So that's your opportunity. So, honey, since I am going out with my girlfriends, why don't you call up one of your buddies and maybe the two of you can go do something? I don't want to do anything with them. I'd rather be with you. Oh gosh, I love that you love me that much. I can't be everything to you. I do need to have friends outside of you. And I hope that you can enjoy yourself this evening and maybe relax or go sit outside and have a beer, a glass of wine, a glass of water, some lemonade, some sweet tea, whatever it is. But give them other options besides you. Now, if you have a true narcissistic personality disorder as a spouse, they might actually go entertain another woman while you're out, ladies. Let me tell you, that's your fear, right? Let it happen. Let them. If they go out and have an affair, there's your out. You get away from this person. So I hear this all the time, and I've been there and done that. I can't get away from a narcissist. They've made it nearly impossible to do anything. Like, I can't work. I can't make any money. I don't have the money or the resources to leave them. They make it so hard on you that you don't really function without them because they made you so dependent on them. And you became codependent. So that codependency is so strong, you don't see a way out. But there is a way out. You are an adult. You can find a job. Well, we only have one car, and we have to share the car, and I don't have a way to get to work. Y'all can figure it out. Let me tell you, I was literally with a brand new baby. I was not even a month into this child's life when I figured out a way to leave. Expensive car payment I could not afford. He made it almost impossible to leave. Nowhere to go because we lived beside his parents. I couldn't kick him out of the house. I had to leave because I didn't want to live beside his parents. He made it really hard for me to go. But at the end of the day, I had to choose my life and my child's life because a narcissistic personality disorder is a dangerous person usually. They are the ones who will mentally abuse you, verbally abuse you, physically abuse you, emotionally abuse you. They are going to break you down as a human and require full dependency on them. That's the difference between narcissistic personality disorder and somebody who's a little narcissistic and self-absorbed, right? So their unmet need is they need you to be beneath them. They took you on, not because they don't love you or they do love you. They don't know what love is. Love doesn't have the same meaning to them. Love is ownership. Love is you are mine, right? So this bad behavior is the kind you have to leave. This is the bad behavior that becomes very abusive. And let me tell you, oh, he's never hit me. If he is emotionally, verbally, mentally abusing you, that can be worse than physical abuse because you can't see it. You can't prove it. It's really hard to prove that you're being abused by a narcissist. They make it nearly impossible. I was tripped down a flight of stairs. Not pushed, not hit, not yanked, but tripped down a flight of stairs and made to believe it was my fault that I was klutzy. Well, y'all, I am a klutz. If I'm not on a dance floor, I can't walk, right? So the look on the face was, I gotcha. And because you can't prove I did it because you tripped, I tripped over his foot that he put out in front of me. I'm not stupid. Y'all, gaslighting is what they do to make you think you're crazy and you don't remember things accurately. You remember things accurately. You do. You know what you know. That song, It Wasn't Me. Remember that song? She caught me creeping with the girl next door. It wasn't me. She saw us both buck naked. It wasn't me. That's the biggest gaslighting song of the world. You saw what you saw. You experienced what you experienced. So when this person is belligerently drunk and they come home and they yell and cuss and treat you poorly, that's not an excuse for the bad behavior. The bad behavior has to change. So if you have a dangerous narcissistic personality disorder in your life, that needs to be removed. If it's your child, number one, what's the entitlement? Where's that coming from? Where are their consequences for their actions, right? So I thought about doing a lot more videos on personality disorders and some of the issues that pop up from them, because a lot of people get confused between narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder. And some of you are like, oh, I have this or I have that, or my friend has this or my friend has that, and you're doing it from TikTok. Y'all, do not use TikTok as a way to self-diagnose, because you are not always going to have an accurate occurrence if you try to diagnose yourself off of a TikTok person, okay? If they're not a licensed clinical mental health counselor or a psychotherapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a neuropsych, if they're not one of those people, stop listening to the trends, because they're not true. And every narcissist is not a severe, toxic, deadly person. Sometimes it's just an unmet need. So if y'all want me to do more of these videos, I need y'all to ask questions. So plop your questions on the video and I'll try to answer them. And that way you get the content you want, the answers you need. And if you need help, privately message me. And if you don't want it blasted on Facebook, just private message me like the person for this video did. And I'll do a video on it, and nobody's going to know who requested it. So you either comment on video or you DM me the help that you need and the questions you want answered. Until then, go be awesome.